Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. What are you looking at currently right now? This is Jean's leftover turkey from yesterday with all the meat and the goodies. I covered it with water and kept it refrigerated overnight. Today is Monday. You'll be watching my Monday Cuteness Overload, but I want to turn this into quite a few different things. Some turkey broth. I'm going to add some onions, celery, bay leaf, all that good stuff. I just had put it on a little bit ago because it was outside. It was freezing here last night, so I used it as a refrigerator. And this is squeezed, because this is pretty big, squeezed into the stock pot. I have a bigger one, but it's down the basement. And I'm just starting now to bring it up to temperature. But I'm going to do carrots, onions, bay leaf, garlic, and I'm going to turn this into some turkey broth. And if I get meat off of it, well, we're going to pressure can it. So stay tuned. This is a quicker video just showing you it. But once it gets up there, whatever I do with it, I'll bring you along and show you. Let's see. So yeah, turkey meat with some broth, can it. I'm just going to try to get multiple things out of this turkey because I have two turkeys of my own that I want to get done while I'm here. So this is Jean. She saved it yesterday. She had family come in from out of town and did a Thanksgiving dinner. It was nice enough to save me the carcass with a bunch of meat on it. And right now I just have it covered in cold water. They're not on my tripod currently, but I am going to add some onions. You could put the onion wraps, the papers in there, garlic, some seasoning, rosemary, sage. I'm going to get that stuff together and I'm going to put it in here. I have it on super low right now. So once I get those items together, I guess I will bring you back and we'll add them together so you can see. And then as the process goes on, when it comes to pressure canning some turkey broth or some of the meat, whatever I get off of it, I'll definitely bring you back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so let me show you what's going on. My pot, I knew it. It wasn't going to be big enough because it's a big turkey. I had to use my pressure cooker and dump it all in here, which I think will work out better after all because it was starting to splash all over. Let me lower you down. It was starting to splash all over, plus it wasn't leaving me enough room. I told you, lots of turkey on here. It's tasting good. Okay. So I'm going to cover it with another stock pot. And cover the bones. Perfect. That's it. Now I'll have plenty of room. Let me back you up some. Oh, this is probably what I should have done in the first place, but I got in late last night, so when she offered me the turkey for this, we just stuck it in my other stock pot that definitely isn't that type of a stock pot. So, just trying to clean up my mess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some onions, some carrots out. I'm going to throw it in here and quick run out the door with a pair of scissors. Put a bunch of fresh herbs in there. I can pick them out later. So that's the microwave. Okay, so you don't even have to worry about the paper or anything. I'm going to use this cutting board. Actually, this is kind of big. You can just use whatever you have left over to put in there. I'm using a smaller red onion. You can put the paper and everything in because you're going to end up straining it anyway. So let me quickly get this chopped because I don't have my plug out here. What I'm going to do is just take off the ends. So in the series that I'm doing of ways you can save money, this is one of them right here. See the paper to the onions and everything? Right in the pot. Just not the end. going in. It's all flavor. It's going to be strained. And I'm going to do this little purple onion that would have ended up going to waste anyway. I mean, the outers look terrible peeled off, but it really doesn't matter. This is going to flavor the turkey stock, which is what I'm actually making. Carrots. I don't need to bore you to death with that. I'm just going to chop up some carrots. So I'm just rough chopping. I think my battery's dying. Some carrots. Dropping them in. And we'll do a few more very quickly. And then I will just go outside, get the herbs, and then I'm going to turn this up and let this start cooking. So you keep your scraps. You can feed them to your chickens. You could use it for something else. And I am making turkey broth. So that is good for the carrots and the onions. Let me think. Anything else I was going to do? Oh, just the herbs. I did garlic earlier. I did kind of taste it, the broth. That will go to the chickens. I did kind of taste it. Definitely need salt. So let me get some pink Himalayan salt. Which is not a lot for that whole big pot. Now we're going to give this just a good stir. Papers, like I said, all this will be strained off. And then once this is done, I'm going to pick all the meat off the bones. And then I'm going to let the liquid, after I strain off the vegetables, I'm going to let the liquid stay in the cold until it solidifies. And the fat will go to the top. Look at this. See? It's almost all coming off of there. So that's it for now. We're just going to let this cook. And I will bring you back. Well, there you have it. Everything's in there chopped up, ready to go. I'm just going to let this boil like I previously said. And as the steps go along, I guess I'll bring you back. Okay, so let me show you where I'm at with this turkey broth. Sorry, I keep calling it chicken broth. It's been going for most of the day. But here's my dilemma. They're going up to go to bed. It's 8:18 here. And I am trying to pick out bones. I don't know, I thought I packed a cheesecloth. And I'm pretty much just trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. So I'm using my pressure cooker. I have this pot here. And they have like a different type of strainer. So, I don't know. This should be interesting because I'm worried about going to bed. This has been off now for like 25 minutes, piping hot. This is all the herbs and everything. I'm trying to see if I can get all the bones out tonight and the turkey out tonight and let this get cold. And then, stop, Coco, my dog. And then let this get cold for any of the fat or grease to come to the top. So, sorry about that. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing this. Okay, so let me show you. This is the only colander that she has. I'm telling you, I packed a sieve and a cloth, but I can't find it. And this is about the biggest bowl that I could find. That's going to be extremely heavy. This is my first time doing turkey broth. To get the bones out, I'll probably boil them again, get the meat out, make sure there's not even a sliver of a bone in there. and drain everything off so I can have turkey stock and possibly leftover turkey meat to jar up with some broth. But lifting the canner to try to pour some of it into here is probably going to be really, really heavy. And I'm trying not to make a god-awful mess. Because like I said, they went up to bed. And I was like, is it okay if she's like, yeah, Mel, you cooking in the kitchen isn't going to bother us in the least. So that was cool of her. So like I said, I'm not really sure if I should just start ladling some of it in here. Ladle some in there. I guess we could try. Let me take it over to here. And we'll learn this, figure this out together. I'm sure people will have comments. Feel free. Like I said, this is my first time. So, I guess if I see fat or something, I can just put it off to the side. This is probably going to take a good while to do this whole big thing. But I'll do some of it with you, and then as I get the broth, I guess I'll dump it into my other pot. So, how are you going to know if you're doing it wrong or not? Try, right? So, obviously you will see turkey meat. I just feel like this is gonna take forever. So fat and bones, and it's hot. I'm trying to put on the foil because my game plan is hopefully tomorrow I can pressure can up some turkey broth. So that's kind of the game plan. And sorry if it sounds like I'm not really talking loud enough. I'm trying. I'm just not trying to be obnoxiously loud. So this has been on the stove since this morning, I guess. I brought it to like rapid boil. I left a low simmer. So onions, carrots, fresh sage, fresh rosemary, fresh oregano, little bit of oregano, curly parsley, because one of my pots from the garden, the herb one, still has some herbs. So let me think again. I did fresh rosemary, parsley, little sprig of oregano, I have to really think. This is looking like it's getting a little full. Sage. Did I say sage already? I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but this is the best I can do right now in someone else's house. And now this, I will dump into my other stock pot. But I would have used a cheesecloth, fine sieve. See if I can lean that on there. Ooh. Apparently not. Okay, I have to roll up my sleeves. Let me get my other stock pot. I'm gonna move y'all back. Ooh, almost dropped my lid. Let's see. I'm gonna move you back here. I will put you up in 1 second. There's my other stock pot. That's clean. So something I'm not sure about is like the herbs. I did dry and fresh. I don't know if that's okay. I see some people's chicken stock and it looks gorgeous. But that's probably where the cloth would come in handy to collect all the herbs. I'll have to figure that one out. So I am going to do one more with these. And then I guess I'll be spending a lot of time. So I get this empty. As far as dry herbs are concerned, I used, she didn't have a bay leaf, so I used basil, I used chives, rosemary, marjoram, thyme, some salt, some pepper. She didn't have peppercorns, and I think mine are down in a tote. Let me think, salt, pepper, fresh garlic, onion powder, fresh onions, carrots, celery, so this is going to be an interesting learning experience here because I have a turkey or two. Maybe I'll learn from this. So hot. And come up with a better way to do this by the time I do my next turkey. Okay. I just not sure because it's not clear. This looks very herby, and I don't know if it would work if I put it in a coffee strainer. So I'm trying to do all this hard part tonight so that I can get ready to pressure can tomorrow. So this is extremely hot. And I wanted the fat to solidify, so let me get some more broth. Hopefully this doesn't take as long as I think it's going to take. We shall see. Newbie pressure canner doing turkey stock. I just couldn't see her wasting it and throwing it out, so when I defrost mine, it's mainly going to be for the turkey meat in pint-sized jars, turkey soup, maybe some turkey and potatoes and vegetables to get jarred up so I can get some more pint-sized jars. I also did Vidalia onions because that's what I had on hand, and a purple onion if you remember seeing that. So, and the fresh and dried herbs. Okay, it's looking kind of full. It's just a different type of colander. And yep, I'm going to need a spoon. feel like I need multiple hands here. And then I think this stuff I'm going to put in a separate bowl so that I can pick through once it cools off a little bit more and pick out the meat. And make sure there's no bones in it. So, this dumped into here. Okay, and there's a lot more to go, and I'm wondering if this is going to get completely full. So I'm going to keep going, and then I'll bring you back and let you know my progress. Okay, so I decided to use this to scoop it out. Work smarter, not harder. So I'm wondering if my whole stock pot's going to be filled. So I just run the spoon through this. So like I said, it's a different colander. And get the extra juices out. And then I take this and I dump it into the pot that's in the sink. So it's a whole process here. To actually do this, but using that measuring thing's a lot easier. And my pot is getting pretty full. So that is where my stock pot's at. Really scary. And there's that much more to go. So, I don't know, my friends. Let's just keep going, I guess. I think the bottom is where there's going to be a lot of meat with the bones. So there's not like buku amount of broth left on the bottom, but still quite a bit. You can see I'm not getting full cups of liquid anymore. So I like this strainer, but I would like this for gardening, not for in the kitchen. But you can see there's a lot of meat in here, and it's steaming hot, so I'm going to have to be really careful trying to make sure it doesn't have any of the bones. I know chicken broth looks different than turkey stock. I think turkey stock is lighter. I'm just trying to figure out how I can get the herbs out of my broth. This was a 24-pound turkey. So, you know, it was a big one. So, let's see how much more I can fit here. That's it. That's all I'm going to be able to fit in there. So what I think I should do is clean this off first. this. Whoa, on here. That's heavy. Imagine what the pressure canner feels like. And it feels like the one handle's getting a little loose. I might have to get Thomas to see if he could tighten it. I don't know why, but a little bit. Okay, so let me show you. Full stock pot. And this is what's left in there. So I could try. This is the scraps. I guess I could try now to lift this and try to dump the rest of the goodies in there. I don't know if it'll work, but let's see. Okay, so this is what I figured out. I spoke to my friend Pam, and after I was done last night, because now that's the morning, I refrigerated it. I scooped off the gelatinous material that was on the top. There was no way of straining it, so I left it get ice cold. Okay. It still may end up having some herbs in it. I mean, it's the best I could do. This was the bowl that had some left. This is what's on the bottom that I'm making sure that I don't pour back in to the pot. And I just was skimming off the top with a ladle. There's the ladle with the bowl. Jars are washed. There's my coffee. And yeah, so I'm gonna now bring this back up to temperature. I have 3 quarts of water in my Presto. And we're gonna do the best that we can do because limited amount of pots. I'm going to try not to have the bottom of the pot go into the jars that I wash. So that's the best that I could come up with. And I think the time's 25 minutes. I'll verify that. But I want this, now that this was ice cold, and I skimmed off, I mean, a lot. Like, look, I'll show you. You go and you pull it back. You're not on my tripod. See? So I don't know, I may end up with a little bit of cloudy broth, but I think it'll be okay. We'll have to see. As far as turkey is concerned, because it was the turkey meat with the caucus, right? If I'm saying that right. Because of the way they shoved it in the pot, turkey wasn't really usable for what I would need it for, but this is a good test run on their leftover turkey. I wanted broth, so that's what I'm going to use it for. When I take my turkey out of the freezer, I will use that for the meat with some broth. Hopefully I'm making sense. So there it is. I have it on low. I'm going to let that come back up to temperature. I don't have this on yet. I just got done washing all the jars and getting the rest of the broth that was in here dumped into the pretty full pot and leaving the bottom on the bottom. I don't even think that I'm going to stir this up. So, I don't know. It's my first time ever doing turkey broth. It may not be the clearest or, you know, the best. But it's a good learning experience. Plus, I'm at someone else's house. So, when you don't have your supplies, it's a little bit harder to do things. But it shouldn't be too bad. I will, I guess, bring you back when we're ready to jar it up. So hopefully I washed enough. Let me see. I think I have 11 jars here. So, okay, I'm going to let this heat up. And I'm going to sit down and drink my coffee. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. And hopefully it turns out good. I went downstairs, and sorry about my voice. I don't know, my voice has been acting up. I went downstairs and I got some rings, some lids, tools that I'm going to need, extra tray just in case. This, as you can see, is steaming. And what I was doing was just taking the ladle, and trying to get off any extra herbs or fat. But I just turned the Presto canner. They're so slightly different. Okay, I put it on because I need this to be the same temperature. Okay, so let's hope that I can get this pressure canned. I'm going to sit you there for 1 second and move something out of my way. I am hoping to be able to get this pressure canned. Now, I know I said previously, because I've had to stop and I'll edit it and put all these pieces together, that I was going to try to do some turkey meat, but live and learn. This is my first time making turkey stock. When Thomas and Jean put the turkey bones and the whole thing inside the stock pot, that all cooked together and the meat wasn't really going to be good to pressure can. Good enough for like a soup. But anyway, I will, when I pull my turkey out of the freezer, I'm going to cook it in the oven, take the meat off, put it in jars, and cover it with stock. So this video, the final thing that I'm going to do, is I'm only going to be doing turkey broth. So hopefully my video is not too long, but this is my first time as a newbie pressure canner trying to get some turkey stock put up. Hopefully I washed enough jars. We shall see, and hopefully I don't make a humongous mess. I am in someone else's kitchen. So that's what the stock is looking like. Now when I get to the bottom, I'm not going to use it because, you know, a lot of the herbs and whatnot may be on the bottom. So I have my pressure canner with 3 quarts of water in there. Look at your canner and, you know, read the instruction manual. But I was hoping not to have like a real cloudy broth, but maybe it's not. I don't know, because this is my first time. So let's see here. I am going to set some jars up. Like I said, I washed them all, and I'm just was letting them air dry just a little bit. I'm just dumping some of the water out. I really don't know how many quarts I'm going to get. So I guess it's time to start ladling up the turkey broth into some jars. So I think the best thing to do is to get you all situated. Move you back. I will adjust in a minute. I'm sure I will spill some on her counter. It's probably a given. Okay, so we're gonna back you up. This is what I pulled out. This is what's washed and cleaned. So we are gonna get finally going on the pressure canning part of it all. What I think I should use is this glass Pyrex again. So I'm nervous, but we're gonna do this. We're finally going to fill the first jar. I'm already spilling it everywhere, of course. So I might have to figure out a different system for that. But I will be sure to wipe that up. One-inch headspace. But I'm already like making a mess. I'm trying to check my headspace. Okay, so I may have to think of a different system of pouring this. I knew I was going to make a little bit of a mess, but I don't want to be wasting it and then ladling it. Might not be the best idea. But I guess we will see. So I'll do just a few with yous. I mean, hopefully for the pros out there that pressure can everything, hopefully my broth looks okay to everyone. I just know that this process has made me so nervous. Like I said, it's my first time doing turkey broth. Any broth for that matter. So, yeah. Let's do one more together. I do feel as if I only get like a few jars out of all this work, oh my goodness, I might be slightly disappointed. So I guess we'll just have to see. Okay. Now we could use a little bit more. Uh-oh, your dog's coming running. Okay, so let me dish out the rest of this. That's what it's looking like so far. So I've been using this little measuring cup that's been working out pretty well. And so far, I've used all my wide mouth, and I don't know. There's 2 small mouth quart size jars that I might not use, so not too bad. I'm definitely gonna have to scrub her whole stove. And I dripped some on one of my jars, so my jars are gonna be a little messy. But yeah, I might be able to get another one filled. Let's see. And the pressure canner is starting to come to temp. I'm going to turn this off now. And I don't know if I have to turn it. I just had to move my dog out of the way. My hands are literally shaking. Craziness. Let's see. Will we make it for all the quart-sized jars that I washed and prepared? Will I have enough or get enough turkey broth for all these jars? And I will double check, but I think it's 25 minutes in the pressure canner. And I want to oil my ring on my pressure canner before I go and use it this time around. I don't know, let's see. This is my last jar. We will have to see. I'm just fixing some of my headspace. Okay, here we go. Last jar. Let's see if I can just pick it up and pour it in there. Yikes. Without getting the sediments on the bottom. I don't know if I will get a full quart. Voila. Oh, yay. Okay. Sheesh. That was nerve-wracking. I do need a little bit more of the broth. And there's her dogs barking. Okay. Oh my gosh, I did it. There they all are. Now I'm going to wipe the rings. Wipe off the tops with some distilled vinegar. You can see this is getting pretty hot. So I'm just going to turn it off for like a few minutes because I want to oil my ring in there. And I want to get the lids ready. But there they all are. The turkey stock is in the jars. Ooh, okay. Let me wipe these all off, get the lids and the rings on, and get ready to put it in the canner. I don't want to go through all this and then not use distilled vinegar. I definitely want to make sure these are clean due to any grease. So, my broth may not be perfectly clear. I don't know if it's supposed to be, or I'm not really sure. You might see a little bit of herbs in mine. So I'm just taking some distilled vinegar, wiping off the tops. I want this to be hot and the pressure canner to be hot, but I don't want that too hot. So, and then while it's in the pressure canner, I am going to wash everything that I used and clean up my mess. Okay, so the tops are done. Now I have to get the rings and the lids. Okay, I just put some oil on my seal, and I'm going to take these out and going to start putting these on. I didn't grab my magnet, so I'm just taking it out of the hot water with my hands. And I had to go down the basement to find, two smaller mouth lids, which I have two, but I don't see any more. So I definitely could use some smallmouth lids. So I'm going to put these all on. Ouch. This was the water I took out of my pot. This could go back. And we're going to turn this back on. Let me move this out of the way. Making a bunch of racket. Now let's get the rings on. Hopefully I brought up enough of the rings. I guess I doubted how much I was going to get. Okay. Whoopsie daisy. Let me check this out. I like the looks of that. So I'm just going to put all the rings on, fingertip tight. arm's always in the view of the camera. I'm really sorry. And now I'm going to get ready to put them in. I like to check to make sure I don't over tighten them. It's just a habit for me to unscrew and rescrew just to make sure that it's just, see, like that's, oh, these are hot. To make sure it's not too tight, just fingertip tight. Okay. And now I'm gonna start, oops, forgot the, put that in. I'm gonna move you right here just so you can watch me put them in, because isn't that exciting? But here we go, turkey broth. I might have to go downstairs and get the other rack, which I didn't really see it when I was down there. So that I can get them all to fit and run the pressure canner just once. So let me go down there and get that. Okay, apparently all my knowledge went out the window and forgot that I'm doing quarts, so I can't double stack. So that's okay. That leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. I'm going to get the pressure canner going, and I guess I'll bring you back when these are done, and then I'll have to put the last 5 in. Okay, pressure came down in the pot, and I've been just doing other things. We are going to cross our fingers and hope everything turned out okay. And then I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So I'm going to put a towel down right here on the cutting board, and hopefully you can see that. Then I'll bring you closer, and let's get this lid off, shall we? There's the jars of turkey broth. Let's start moving y'all around. Let's start taking them out. And then I'll have to start, then I'll have to start it all over again. There's the turkey broth. And we'll dump this water out. Coco, you need to move. If the jar falls, you're going to get hurt, puppy. Go. My dog is like right at my feet. God forbid you drop one of these. So to be honest with you, I'm glad it's done. Happy to have it. And now I learned a very valuable lesson. When I go to do my turkey, I'm just going to roast it in the oven, and then I'll be putting up some turkey meat, maybe some turkey and vegetables. But hopefully I did it correctly, because there it is. The first set of jars are out. I'm going to dump this ever so quickly. Okay, so they're out. And now what I'm going to do is, I need a quart. Let me grab a quart-sized jar. I get a lot of exercise running up and down the steps, but I'm going to fill this jar, the quart-sized jar, 3 times to put it into the canner and get these other ones going. so that my turkey broth video doesn't go on for an hour, because you know I'm still learning how people do all this pressure canning, and they can cut to the good parts, I guess. That's what it looks like. So what do you think about the color? Let me get, I need this one, and then one more full quart size jar of water to go into the canner. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to kind of bring it up to temperature at the same time as soon as I fill this one up. So quart sizes was 25 minutes. Pint sizes are 20 minutes. So the water just comes out a little bit slower. Okay, there's 3 quarts. So let me show you. So that's the first batch. 6 I got done. Here we go again. We're going to get these in. We're going to turn this on and get this one going, which it's on. Let me make sure. Okay, so I just put them in. I'm just going to lock the lid. And now we will start the process all over again to do the last of the jars. So I probably won't bring you back for that, because there's a lot of pieces to this video. I know I was all over the place. I deeply apologize. I just wasn't sure what I was doing, actually. I tried to follow some instructions. So yeah, so these 6 are out and done. And the other 6, right, I put 6 in. I have time to open the lid. Let's just double count. Ready? Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. So not too shabby. Let me get the lid back on. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 jars of turkey stock. First time ever doing it. I hope, these are hot, I hope the color is good. Please let me know, because when I take my turkey out of the freezer, I'm going to roast it in the oven, and I'm going to mainly use it for me. So I had extra quart size jars for the turkey stock and the turkey meat. When mine thaws and I take it out, I will be sure to bring you back for that. I'm going to put up some pint-sized jars of turkey meat with broth, and maybe some turkey with carrots and maybe potatoes. That's my game plan. So that is my video. I'm gonna let this go. This is on. Now I have to start a timer all over again once it steams for 10 minutes. You know the routine. So yeah. Sorry everyone if this was like a longer video. I really do apologize, but my channel over here, I like to keep it real. I'm learning off of a lot of great canners. Ooh, ping. Pam and Proud Mom. When I have a question, which I did last night, about the herbs and the gelatin, you know, you have to remove. So big shout out, Proud Mom, and a big shout out to Pam at Join Me in the Dirt. Go check her out. That's my friend. I probably aggravated her with my questions, but it looks good. I'm going to let this go, but I'm going to end my video here. And when it comes out, I will line all the jars up, take a picture, and that will be on the main screen. So bear with me. I don't have an editing software to shorten things. And this one was a little bit longer because newbie canner making turkey broth. So happy to have that. Hopefully y'all approve. And yeah, blessed that Jean gave me her turkey caucus. Am I saying that right? Probably not. And now we're going to get this one going all over again. Like I said, I will take a picture of the other 5 jars all together, and then I will use that as my picture. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Um, I love learning from the canning community, and hopefully I can just keep going. So I think I have 2 frozen turkeys, but I'm going to take one and roast it in the oven. That will be for me. I have also a ham, so just bear with me. I have to get more pint-sized jars, and yeah, to put up the pints would be easier for me to eat. But it's so happy to have this. But thank you, thank you, thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching my video. And if you're not subscribed here, maybe consider doing so. Make sure your notification bell is on so you don't miss a video. And I will have some videos coming up on like affordable meals, like my mac and cheese video. I have to fix the title. That was affordable. And coming up is, let's see, how I turn my diced tomatoes that I grew into sauce. And then an economically affordable meat sauce is coming up. I also do have my dinner rolls from Christmas time. I know it's behind, but if you know my circumstances, then you know. I'm going to be uploading that. I have a tiramisu. I have an update on our Arctic Blast on how my jars are doing out in the shed, or the garage actually say. So stay tuned. Lots of videos. I'm trying to bang out as much as possible to get a lot of work done while I'm here. But I'm going to try to do affordable meals. I do have a tiramisu dessert that's not really affordable, but I did that for like the holidays. So I love you all. Like, subscribe, and share. Make sure your notification bell is on. And I will catch you on the next one. And my deepest apologies if my video is long. This was totally new for me. But love y'all. Catch you on the next video. Bye, friends. Have a great day.